Welcome to report on James Purdey and Sons, a company dating back to 1814, specializing in bespoke shotguns and rifles. I'm Cailein Campbell, and I'm excited to get started. We're going to discuss briefly the company and their industry, then we will discuss business level strategy as well as their corporate strategies. It is important that we understand what Purdey represents so we have a better understanding of the company's value chain. Purdey has been building custom shotguns in the gun industry since 1814 and has been the inventor of their highly sought after action or internal mechanics, as you can see in the picture on the top right corner. As shotguns are their dominant business over rifles, I focus on those numbers. Each bespoke shotgun typically starts at $200,000 US and can exceed $250,000. Each gun takes 6 to 18 months to complete with a 2 to 4 year wait list to get started. Once you are selected, you can visit the factory in London to review the build process and be measured for your bespoke gun. These are custom ordered, high value, high quality products that differentiates from the competition. Here's a timeline I created showing the ownership transfers of the company, focusing on it being family held and passed down to each successor from 1814 until 1994 when it was incorporated into Vendome plc, which was dissolved into its parent company, Richmond. We will speak more about this when we discuss their corporate strategy. Now, Purdey's business strategy is differentiation. As you can see, Purdey meets the 4 criteria for differentiation. In addition to this, it's important to know who we are serving. I mentioned the ledger here. Purdey has kept a written ledger with every custom order form for every shotgun they have ever produced, and it is seen as a rite of passage when you buy your first Purdey and your name is written into the ledger, along with others including the royal family. Purdey shotguns are arguably the finest shotgun ever made, and along with that comes prestige and status of owning a Purdey. They only produce 75 guns a year and only take 30 to 50 new orders a year. This restricts production, which limits supply, which drives a higher price. For a small fee, you can request your original ledger entry. Here's a picture of my Purdey that was built in 1911, which I still shoot today with the original order form on the left. This shows the provenance of Purdey is unparalleled, which is a large part of their value creation. Continuing with differentiation, we look at the company's uniqueness drivers, in which they have the royal warrant from the royal family, proving a long history of loyalty in gun making for the royal family. Also, the wood Purdey uses for the gun stocks are sourced exclusively from the Kurdish region of Turkey. In an email correspondence I had with Dr. Harlow at Purdey, they only source their walnut from a small selection of wood sellers. Because of this, the seller has market power, and unfortunately, there is not a secondary use after the wood is purchased and carved into the stock blanks, which speaks to asset specificity. The carving of each stock takes approximately 100 hours. If a mistake is made, that is not just a loss of product, but a large opportunity cost due to the time it takes to create a bespoke stock. Another uniqueness driver is the intangible relationships. Purdey is a shotgun that gets passed down from generation to generation. It is something that stays in the family and becomes an heirloom. In an interview with Purdey, they mentioned this can actually negatively affect sales, as once a family purchases a Purdey, the children inherit it, and that therefore eliminated that whole market generation. Purdey was one of the first to develop the self-opening action, which others have copied, so there is an imitable competitive risk. Custom Purdey shotguns are hand engraved still today, which can take up to 240 hours per gun. Laser engraving technology has become sophisticated, and many competitors are laser engraving, which is a fraction of the time and cost, therefore a competitive risk. To counter this, Purdey has offered an entry-level shotgun using laser engraving starting around $60,000. Purdey builds each shotgun in order from barreling, action, ejector, stocking, hand engraving, and delivery. Each is built in this order to ensure a perfect fit. Because of the precision needed and being done by hand, Purdey finds value in their human resources and in operations. Hiring artists and an extensive apprenticeship program, many will spend their entire career at Purdey. After the sale, each gun has a 5-year warranty, and you're invited to special events as well as an invitation to their sporting grounds to shoot your new bespoke shotgun. Different from others, Purdey takes corporate social responsibility and replants a tree for every gun produced, promoting environmental sustainability as well as the improvement of wildlife habitat. Each tree planted is in the name of the purchaser. Now we move on to corporate strategy. Purdey's instability, no change. Due to the intense labor requiring 500 hours per gun with limited production, Purdey has a difficult time meeting current demand, hence the 2 to 4 year wait list I mentioned earlier. The quality is where Purdey really generates value. Because of the 500 hours of building the gun, it also has 8 weeks of hand oiling the stock to create the finish they are known for. There's a high level of synergy at Purdey, as Purdey also has a clothing line that brings awareness to the gun business and vice versa. When I reached out to Purdey with questions, I asked to focus on the gun side of the business, as this was the core of this report. However, Dr. Harlow told me they try not to divorce each business from one another, as they are related and bring business to each other. This tells us Purdey has value-creating related diversification. In 1994, Purdey was bought by Vendome, which was dissolved into its parent company, Richemont. Richemont's portfolio consists of luxury brands with a high level of related diversification. These include Cartier, Peter Millar, Mont Blanc, and Panerai watches. Richemont has used cross-marketing between Purdey and Mont Blanc pens as well as Panerai watches. Cross-marketing among the different brands in the portfolio not only drives synergy, but proves there is a strategic fit among the brands. Purdey does practice some vertical integration downstream with distribution only using 2 authorized dealers in the U.S., and all orders must be made directly to Purdey. Upstream, they source the materials for the 170 plus components each gun has from limited suppliers. As you can see, Purdey is a brand that operated as a family business for 180 years until it was purchased by Richemont, in which there is a strategic fit among the share buyer demographic with high-rated diversification offering cross-marketing opportunities. The business strategy of differentiation leans on brand loyalty, high quality, and historical prestige for what it means to purchase a Purdey. In addition, the company's uniqueness drivers support differentiation, limited production, and long wait lists with no plans to change the by-hand gun-making process. We found Purdey's life cycle is in the stability phase. Thank you for taking the time to review this presentation. It's been my absolute pleasure.